Hey, I'm Greg. I'm the Introverted Networker, and welcome to the Introverted Network issue number 50. This is the podcast that goes along with my newsletter, the Introverted Networker, and this week is the big 50. This is the 50th issue of my newsletter, started a little bit over a year ago, or almost a year ago, I guess. And I'm excited about making it to 50. So I wanted to do a little bit of a look back on some of the other issues that I've already talked about in the past, and also to just kind of sum up my networking method. I've written about this in my book, which is called The Fast and Easy Guide to Networking for Introverts. I've also written about this every week for the last 49 weeks in my newsletter. And you could go back and you could look at all of those and you could kind of put together this process. I lay it out pretty sequentially. Or you could just listen to this podcast because I'm going to sum it all up. And I really wanted to call out some of the important pieces of this because one of the questions I get a lot is, I know I need a network, but I don't know where to start. And if you follow these steps, these 9 steps that I laid out in a LinkedIn post this week, and you go into really focusing on executing on them, then you will really have a good start on networking, and it will become something that you can do on an ongoing, consistent basis. So I'm really going to jump into a little bit of the details here. I teased it in the post this week so that I could get people to, sign up for the newsletter, check it out, and come get the details. But a lot of this is going to refer back to other issues, which again, if you're a new reader to my newsletter, this will be a great issue to kind of look at and go back and figure out what other issues you want to dig into. Because a lot of people have joined. I've gotten, about 150 new subscribers in the last month. And so I know they haven't gone back and read all the past issues. So that's why I wanted to do a little bit of a summary here in this 50th issue. So we're going to start and walk through this. I'll give you a little bit of details on each one of these. And then in the newsletter, you can see which issues to go back into and get more details in the newsletter. So number one, if you're starting out networking and you don't know where to start and you feel like I don't know anybody, the first place to start is with your dormant ties. And sometimes people will be like, what's a dormant tie? Well, a dormant tie is somebody who you know, usually somebody you've worked with in the past or went to school with in the past, and you knew them, you were friends with them or you were connected with them, and you've just lost touch with them over time. And that's perfectly normal. We have lots of things going on in our lives. And so we move on and we lose touch with people. Those are great people to get back in touch with, to catch up and find out what's going on with them, but also to start to network and start to grow your network. Because most of the people we know in our lives are people we worked with or people that we went to school with or people we lived near. And those people also introduce us to new people. That's how you meet new people, is by getting introduced to them. And so you're going to start with these dormant ties. And I wrote about this in my very first issue number 1 of the Introverted Networker. And I talked about how to do this. And what I recommend is you take your resume or your LinkedIn profile and look at the last place you worked. Maybe it's not your current employer, but maybe it was the one right before it. And start to go and make a list of people you worked with there and you've kind of lost touch with. People that you generally liked and enjoyed and you'd like having a conversation with. And start writing that down in a Word document or a Google Doc or in a spreadsheet. It doesn't really matter where you do it, but make sure you start writing down a list of people that you're going to get back in touch with. And then do that for every other company that's on your resume or your LinkedIn profile. And if you need to, go through LinkedIn and click on your company that you worked for, and it'll show you the people that work there or have worked there. And you can actually do a search to find those people. And if you're already a first degree connection, great. If you're a second degree connection, it's an easy connect. You click connect with that person. You send them a note saying, hey, we worked together in the past. I noticed we weren't connected. Wanted to connect with you here. And then that's another person you've already connected with, another dormant tie. So go in there, start to make that list. If you need more details, like I said, you can check out issue number 1. That's where I talked about it. And that sets you up for the second step, which is to send those people an email or a LinkedIn message saying, hey, I thought of you today, realized we haven't spoken in a while. How have you been? That's it. That's all you're going to do. You're not going to ask them for anything. You're not going to give a big, long detail on your life so far. You are basically reestablishing the connection in a very non-threatening way. And you're putting it out there so that they can come back and say, hey, it's great to hear from you. I was thinking of you too. It's amazing how many times people will say that when you send this note. And here's what's going on with me. Would love to catch up. Of course, some people are busy and not everybody's on LinkedIn, or not everybody's going to respond to your email right away. And that's okay. It's okay. Give people a little bit of time. Be patient. Think about it from your perspective. Have you ever gotten an email or a message that you took a few days or weeks to respond to? We all do it. But make those outreaches, make those connections, send that message that's really simple, and give them the opportunity to respond so that you can start turning these online interactions into conversations, which is step number 3. And so it's really easy to get hung up on sending emails back and forth, or really focused on sending emails back and forth with people, and just kind of forgetting that you need to actually have a real in-person conversation with people. You need to go in and turn these online interactions into conversations. And the way you do that is by saying, hey, this is great. It's great catching up. Would you be up for, having coffee if they live close to you? Or if they don't live close to you, you say, hey, I would love to catch up in a 15-minute phone call. Good old-fashioned phone call, voice-to-voice conversation is a great way to really catch up and talk to people and kind of find out what's going on with them. But that's really what you're trying to get to, is some sort of either face-to-face or voice-to-voice conversation with these people that you've lost touch with. Once you do that and you set that up, and again, one of the things you should think about when you do this is being very easy to schedule things with. If you're going to say to the person, hey, I'm super busy, I can't get in touch, don't even bother networking at this point. You have to be available. You're going to have to work around other people's schedules. You're going to have to find time to connect with people. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. You don't have to do 100 of these. If you do 1 or 2 of these a week, or if you can't do that, 1 or 2 a month, that's fine. Whatever you can do, set up some of these conversations. Be the one who schedules the time. Be the one who suggests the place. Be the one who provides the phone number. Be easy to help. That's something I always tell people when they're networking, is be easy to help. So let's assume you did that. You set up the conversation. You get in this conversation with this person who, again, remember, you know this person, right? This isn't a stranger. You worked with them. You have at least something in common. But when you get in this conversation, one of the questions I get a lot is, well, what are we going to talk about? How does the conversation go? And this, like everything else, I tell people, don't overthink. The best thing you can do in these conversations is to ask the other person about their favorite topic. And everybody goes, well, what's their favorite topic? And I say, everybody's favorite topic is the same. It's the thing they know the most about. It's themselves. Not selfishly, but we just all know more about ourselves than anybody else. So ask people about themselves. So you're in this conversation with somebody you used to work with. Ask them about themselves. What's been going on? What have they been doing? What have they been working on? What have they been challenged with? And then listen, and listen for opportunities to help them. That's what you're doing in this whole conversation. You're not giving them your resume. You're not asking them to help you find a job. You're not asking them for anything. You are simply listening to what they say. So that's number 4. And as you do number 4, you're going to move on to number 5, which is to give them something. As you're listening to what they're saying, you're going to look for opportunities to give them an idea or advice or a recommendation, something that will help them. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It can even just be your perspective on something, but give them something that is valuable to what they're working on. And if you can't think of anything, the best thing you can do is give them your attention, right? Again, they're talking about themselves. Give them your attention and really listen. Because when somebody gives you their full attention, aren't they somebody that you really want to talk to? So think of that in terms of this conversation. You're listening and you're trying to find something to give. Okay, so this is kind of the start of the conversation, and you're listening and you're giving, and now this person's thinking to themselves, wow, I really like talking to Greg because he really, he got in touch with me and he's really listening to me and he's like giving me stuff. I would really, really like to help him because that's what's going to happen is somebody's going to turn around, the person you're in the conversation with, and say, wow, this has been such a great conversation. What can I do for you? Now, a lot of times people are looking for jobs when they're networking, or they're looking for new opportunities. And what I always tell them is you need to have a list of target companies or people to whom you want to be introduced. You want to make it as easy as possible for the other person to help you. Because again, you've helped them. Now they want to balance the karmic scales and help you, but you have to be easy to help. If you just gave them your resume and said, hey, could you give this to somebody who can get me a job? That's being hard to help. A much simpler way to be easy to help is to give them a list of companies or people, specific names or types of people if you don't know names, and say, I would really like to meet somebody on this list, or somebody who works at one of the companies on this list. So give them that, and it's much easier for them to help you. And when I say give them that, this goes to number 7 here, which is give it to them that they can take it away. And if it's a voice-to-voice call, on a phone call, email it to them. If they're in person, hand it to them. But give them something to walk away with, to remember what it is you're looking for. And you'll be surprised how often in the next day or 2 or week, somebody who you talk to comes back and is like, hey, that list you gave me, I realize I know somebody and I can connect you with them, and I'd love to introduce you to them. And that's what you're trying to do over and over and over again, because we get to step 8 in this process. And basically in step 8, you get introduced to somebody new and you go back up to step 3. Okay. So you don't go all the way to the beginning, because that was getting in touch with people you know. Now you're getting introduced to somebody new. Now your network is growing, and you're going to go back to step 3, and you're going to meet this person probably through an email introduction. And you're going to turn that email introduction into a real world conversation. You're going to listen to them, ask them about themselves. You're going to think of ways you can help them and give to them. And then you're going to let them know how they can repay you for your help, or how they can help you out, which is your same list. And you're going to continue doing that over and over again. And the key here is the last step, which is number 9, which is find a way to do some of this every single day. If you can do some of this every single day, your network is going to grow so quickly. And before you know it, you're going to have to find ways to either schedule out farther, or you're going to have to say, I can only meet one new person this week, because you're going to have so many conversations and people that you're meeting, and lots more opportunities coming around, that you're going to know you're going to have more than you know what to do with. So this is a very simple approach to networking, especially for introverts, that takes a little bit of time each day. But if you follow this and you keep doing it and you're consistent, you will grow a vibrant professional network that will bring you more opportunities than you know what to do with. And that's what I've been doing every day, every week, every year for the past several years. That's what I've been doing to create sort of this following on LinkedIn around this. That's what I've done to create my newsletter. That's what I've done to find other opportunities for my day job. This is the same process I use over and over and over again. It works. It will work for you. Give it a shot. Go back and read some of the old newsletters if you need more details. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I would love to hear if there's anything that you're struggling with, or any challenges, or anything you need help with. That's what I'm here for. Until next week, again, this is Greg. I'm the Introverted Networker. Have a great one.